Hi, I'm Brad Kuvin. I'm the editorial director of Metal Forming Magazine at the Precision Metal Forming Association. We are podcasting our Destiny of Manufacturing podcast this week from Orlando, from FABTECH 2024, and I'm really pleased to welcome Scott MacKenzie to the program today. How you doing today, Scott?
Oh, well, this is great, man.
Yeah,
you got a nice booth here in FABTECH.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm envious.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That's a lot of fun.
It is.
So you are the host of a podcast called Industry Talk, right?
Industrial Talk.
Industrial Talk.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
No,
Industrial
that's okay.
Talk.
That's not a problem.
So tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into to manufacturing.
Yeah, I long ago in a galaxy far, far away, I took a company public, and then I retired. And I didn't like retirement. I'm looking at the camera right now. I don't like retirement. And when you retire, you figure out, gosh, darn it, what do I do? Well, I started another industrial maintenance company. And as an industrial maintenance company, you need to market. And so I was coming back from a client, and I just said, hey, Scott, let's do some podcasting just to open up doors.
Okay.
And be able to have or tell that story or to talk to people about it, create the relationships. And it turned out to be a good marketing platform to do that. And then you fast forward to that, I sold that company, and then I just started doing Industrial Talk full time. And I think that there is a real need for a voice to be able to just talk about what the great things that are happening in industry. I mean, we're here at FABTECH, and it's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Come on, you just walk around, and it's just cool.
Right.
And you don't realize what industry is doing. So anyway, that's sort of the story there, which is a lot of fun.
When did you start Industrial Talk?
About 7 years ago.
Wow, 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done around a couple of thousand interviews around the world.
Cow. Wow.
Yeah.
Around the world.
Around the world.
Okay.
We've been very fortunate to attend Europe or go to Europe and do some stuff with another event organizer.
Okay.
And it's just great to see. I mean, industry's in. And Industrial Talk is meant to be sort of that macro naming, because I can go into oil and gas, I can go in power gen, utility, manufacturing. I can go into so many different areas without any real problems.
Right.
Well, Scott, how come you're doing that? It's like, what the hey, it's okay.
So thousands of interviews over the last several years. Any memorable ones that you care to share with us?
Yeah, so there's a couple. One, and it might not be too memorable, but remember how everybody's saying, hey, give me the use case, right? Use case for this technology.
Okay.
And so the term use case, I interviewed the guy who came up with the use case name. And it's just this, he said, I didn't know anything about it. I just was trying to figure out how do we build a technology or some solution that needs sort of a user case.
Use case.
I'll call it use case.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then also interviewed the guy that coined the term digital twin. And that's a big conversation.
Wow, sure it is.
Yeah, he was leading that too as well. So very fascinating conversations. And they're just typically just home guys are just like, whoa, wouldn't it be great to be able to create a digital representation of something in the physical? We'll call that a twin.
Right.
We'll call it digital twin. There.
Yeah, that's cool.
And not much, but it especially today, that whole technology is just really, especially here. I mean,
wow. Right. As you walk around FABTECH, and today's just day one, but you definitely see a lot. You hear a lot of people talking about digital twin and other aspects of Industry 4.0.
You get an opportunity to simulate. You get an opportunity, and of course AI is popping in there. But you get with the digital twin, you're able to simulate. Well, what if I make this tweak, and what if I do this? What if I, and then have the digital twin produce it, and then say, yeah, look at that, it works. Put it in the physical, and so you're eliminating that. Oh, we shouldn't have done that. You do it all over here. Kick the tires on the digital side, and then you put it in the physical. It's
exactly. So, yeah, we're just seeing a growth in applications for that technology.
Yes,
it continues to take off. And then, like you said, AI starts to play a role in that as well.
It's like a light switch went off with AI.
Right.
And I think that we're at a point where it's just scratching the surface. We're just
I think so
that
too,
looks
but I
like.
think the scratches are getting deeper. I think there's big chunks of
Sure are.
AI being taken now. A lot of progress in that technology.
So what was interesting about, I want to say 6 years ago, I was in Barcelona, and we were having a conversation at an event there called IoT Solutions World Congress,
Okay.
and it was just there, and they were talking about IoT and these devices collecting data off of assets, and then, but the problem and the challenge was always, what do I do with that data? How do I effectively analyze it so that I can make tactical decisions
Right.
that are meaningful to my business? That's where we were at. It's like, yeah, I can collect the data, but I can't analyze it. I'm just a human being.
Right. That's the role of AI, right? Is
That's
to
it.
analyze that data.
Fast forward, it just all of a sudden, now they're doing it.
Yeah.
Now they're able to bring that whole digital world and be able to pull the data. There's no data that they can't analyze and be able to impact in a positive way the businesses here at FABTECH.
Right.
Big time.
Right. And we see that in our industry. People collecting data from their presses, from their controls, from their robots. And right now they got a tool to help them
Yes.
sift through the data and find what's really important.
The big beef here that I have is who do you trust? Now, somebody hanging a shingle saying I'm an AI expert. You got to do your due diligence
Sure,
to find
sure.
the right individual to
Sure.
be able to say, yes, I can analyze that data.
Right.
Yes, I can spit out the results necessary for your business.
Yeah. So the host of Destiny of Manufacturing podcast, Dean Phillips, typically asks our guests, for their one key takeaway as you look at the manufacturing landscape for the next, 3 to 5 years or maybe longer. What's kind of your one key takeaway as you survey, the manufacturing landscape from your broad perspective?
Yeah, I've got multiple points. I think that there's this silver tsunami that's happening. So how do we fill those individuals? How do we get the right individuals, the trained right individuals in place to be able to sustain a manufacturing type of
Sure.
market? That's one. What are those strategies? What are those techniques? Sometimes it's way above my pay grade. I don't have an answer to it. The other thing is, how do you deploy the technology in a way that it does enhance your business and does help make your business more resilient and competitive? Those conversations. I think supply chain is a big deal. I can't even begin to. I have not, and maybe I should. Maybe I should do a little bit better job at finding them. But to the level of inefficiencies that exist within the supply chain, you can source, you can bring it in, you can do all, but there's so many touch points to get your, let's say, feedstock. So individuals that are getting their feedstock. There's a tremendous amount of inefficiency that can be gained through some sort of solution. I haven't had that conversation.
Okay, but opportunity is there.
Huge,
Yeah.
huge. And then, of course, innovation, just in general from that perspective. Those are some of the areas that I see that are really impacting in a big way. Yeah.
Have you had a chance to walk around the show much and maybe
No, I've been
look for
stuck in
some
the
of
salt
those
mine,
solutions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but we did go tootling around. The problem I have is that I'll get all sucked into the cool things that are happening and just stare at it, and then have a conversation and then stare at something else and then have another. I could just get lost.
Yeah.
Now I'm not going over to the west side. Have you been over to the west side?
I just got back from the West Hall.
Did you get a hotel to get from one to over here?
It's a little bit of a walk,
It
but it's
is
doable.
big.
And
This
they've got the moving walkways, so it's not as bad as you think. It's a little warm outside, but it is what it is.
It's impressive. Let's put it that
But
way.
it's worth going over.
It
There's a
is.
lot of technology over there for sure.
It is.
All the robots and cobots, lots of cobots.
And that's a big thing. Automation is a big
Right.
push.
Yeah. Have you talked to your guests about the cobotic evolution?
Yeah, FABTECH and others.
Uh-huh.
How do you deploy it in a way that makes sense? Like maybe a cobot strategy or solution would be a way of getting more out of an individual. Instead
Absolutely.
of running one machine, I can run 3-4 machines because I have cobots.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense, and that also addresses the challenges that exist within the human market. I can't find the right skill.
It surely is.
I'm going to have to figure out the automation
Right.
and those cobots,
Right.
which are pretty cool. They're getting better.
They're getting better, and what I just saw over there, a few minutes ago, was they're getting bigger. Like, I think most people view cobots as kind of small, 5-pound payload. I mean, I just saw a cobot with 40, 50-pound payload and
No.
a 6-foot reach. That was unheard of just a few years ago.
Yeah, no. The advancement is just absolutely coming at us at a blistering pace, and I think that's a big challenge too. How do you, let's say I'm a manufacturer, I'm manufacturing some of the equipment here, or the individuals that are walking around. Things are changing. That I've got to try to keep current with all the stuff that's happening. That to me would, to educate is huge. And how to keep current? Oh, I mean, you're in it, I'm in it. We sit there and we chirp on about it. But these are individuals that are making something happen, and they have to oh no, you have to learn about AI too now. Well, I don't have to learn. I don't know about it. I don't want to do that.
Well, that's our role, right? Is to try to educate the industry. And you're right. Our readers, our members of PMA are hungry for information about Industry 4.0, AI,
yes,
cobots, and other automation solutions. And so that's what we do, right?
It's huge, and you just got to have a passion for it. You want them to be successful,
right?
And so whatever it takes, if it's the education, provide it. If it's the collaboration, say, no, you need to go talk to, this person over here to be able to help you with your challenge, and then of course the innovation, and because the internet says you have to innovate.
Yeah. Well, that's another reason to come to FABTECH, right? Those to exchange ideas like that. I mean, we were having a drink with some folks last night at the hotel bar. They were here looking for a laser and a press brake, and could we offer them advice on who to go see? I can say these are the press brakes or lasers you need to buy, but I can tell you who you should go talk to. And you don't have those conversations if you don't come to the show, right?
And it's reasonable. You need to do this.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, it's from my perspective, it's the Disneyland of industry. It's just so
Disney
cool.
World, since we're in Florida.
And what's great about it is the stuff is moving. It's producing. You get to see it in action. You get to touch it. You get to. It's really gets. You get to kick the tires.
Absolutely.
That's cool stuff, man. I love it.
So all these great technology opportunities.
Yep.
What opportunities do you then see for manufacturers? I guess if you're an OEM of kitchen equipment, that's your lane. You're going to stay in that lane. But if you're a job shop manufacturer and you could pick industries or types of technologies you should be implementing, what have you seen or what have you heard from companies looking to kind of grow their businesses over the next 5 to 7 years?
That's a really interesting question, because I know that I get inundated with the desire to ensure that my asset, the overall manufacturing asset, is up, running, and doesn't go down, right? And if that is the way you're going to improve efficiency and hit more bottom lines and expand whatever, that to me is a data question. What am I pulling off of there? What is that information telling me?
Yeah.
How can I refine it? Am I having am I seeing a failure or a reduction in whatever the quality, whatever? It's data's the new gold, I guess, and that's what I think you need to dive in.
Sure.
You just do. I mean, no matter how painful it might be, again, find the right individual to help you with that.
Yeah.
That's how.
It's good advice for sure.
Yeah.
Any other work for manufacturers that you've been doing besides the Industrial Talk podcast?
No, not really.
Okay,
I
that's
work
the
with
focus.
a number of companies that use my service, and that's marketing and sales.
Oh,
And,
okay.
yeah. So I work with them, but I work with a number of larger organizations that I'm all about getting that message out. I'm all about getting that.
So tell me more about the marketing and sales part of your business.
So here's an interesting reality. I think industry as a whole needs to do a better job at communicating, creating the story, and being able to create that image in people's head. And that
Sure.
just requires you just doing it, trying, feeling, getting out of that comfort zone. So when I started doing that, I remember vividly, I said, okay, I'm going to go down this road. I'm going to create a podcast. I have no idea why that was even put into my noggin, but I'm going to do it. And so I did the research. I found the mics. I looked at the mixers. I did everything I can. And then I had to make that statement and saying, okay, now you got to do one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable. What am I going to talk about? I don't know. And I'm going to just do it.
Yeah.
And just put yourself out there. I think that many organizations need to leverage this type of a platform. Be real, create those relationships, but it's on a personal level, not like, hey, we bend tubes the best way known to man. Look at that, we're bending that tube.
Yeah.
People want a relationship. People want something a little bit more, and I think podcast lends itself well to that. I think that, and then being real, not being. If I went to your house, you're not going to say, well, Scott MacKenzie, how are you doing today? Would you like a beer? You're not going to do that. You're just like, hey, man, how you doing?
Yeah,
come on.
I got you.
That's what this whole media platform is good for. And being able to deliver that in a passionate way.
Is your podcast, is it video as well? Or is
it
it is video?
It is.
Okay. Was it video from the beginning or you?
It is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I just figured if there's a segment of society that just want to watch videos, well, I don't want them to just say, well, I can't watch it because there's no video. So I can take that video and I can convert it into a podcast of, an MP3 or whatever the audio part. It just lends itself, and then I can slice it and dice it and create other little snippets and little, catch you attention type of stuff. So it's easy. You just here, Brad had this quote to say, everybody is wonderful in the world of manufacturing. There's Brad. He came out and said that.
Yeah.
Right there.
Very cool.
Yeah. And so they can see it. Consume it. You don't know where they're at in their buying, journey.
Right.
But they see you.
Yeah, obviously, I would. The video makes it a whole lot more palatable, easier to digest, and
It is.
more interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just.
And like you
it
said,
is.
if you don't have the video available, you can still listen to the
Exactly.
audio, right?
And again, you can create graphics with squiggly lines, right? And you can do it all.
Yeah.
And we were having a conversation before this chat, and it's the technology to do that, to deliver, to be able to effectively have those conversations is user friendly. When I started, I received a mixer board and it had a gazillion knobs, and I was sweating buckshots, man. I'm going, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I don't know how to run this thing. It's got knobs and sliders and stuff. Those days are gone. It's
Like you said, just dive in and learn it. Yeah.
dive in and learn it.
Yeah, be willing to make
Live
mistakes. There you go.
And
There
go
you
out
go.
on YouTube and say, I want to start a podcast. There's a gazillion videos of saying, you can have a conversation with me. And I'll say, get this mic, don't get that mic, get this, don't. I went down that road and that was a waste of my time.
Yeah.
It'll be a waste of your time, trust me.
Awesome. So much fun. Sounds
Yeah.
like you're having a good time with it.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I'm living my Discovery Channel dream.
There you go.
Because you get this. There's so there's VR, right? Virtual, and AR, augmented
Right.
reality.
Right.
So there's a company that created glasses. It's not any glasses that look like my glasses, that are augmented reality, and he was able to stick the technology on the glass and be able to project a 3D image or be able to work with just regular glasses. Like I can be walking around looking through the glasses and then voice activate, say, pull up drawing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, blink, there it is.
Right
there. You can walk around the drawing, you can zoom in by stepping closer to it, and they look like glasses.
They're great for those types of glasses, that technology for training, for maintenance work, right?
Oh.
So you can find a manual that's going to help you
Yeah.
fix something, or replace a part, identify which parts are bad. All that's in there.
Yeah,
Just call it
Boeing's
up on
using
your glasses.
You know, the cable trays in the planes.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
You just look up instead of those single line maps or whatever the maps that they
Yeah.
call them. You can look up, find the right cable. It's in your eyes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Work there.
So, Scott, anything coming up that we should tell the audience about on your podcast? You got some?
Just subscribe. It's
Yeah.
it's
It's on
people
all
like
the major.
you, and it's just
Okay.
we just have a good time.
Okay.
We really, industry is doing a great thing. They are impacting the way we do life, and I mean, it's just it must be celebrated, and you must bring these individuals who are passionate about what they do. Let them tell their story. Gosh, it's inspiring.
Yeah. Very good.
I'm going to shoot
Very
for Elon Musk.
Oh, that would be great. Let us know.
I don't know. That's a stretch goal.
So, industrial manufacturing, it's available on all the platforms. It's easy to find.
Yeah, everything. You name
Awesome.
it. It's industrial talk.
Industrial talk.
Don't worry about it. It's industrial
Industrial
talk.
talk.
I got the URL. Go to industrialtalk.com. Boom, you'll find everything.
Easy enough. Very good.
Yeah.
Scott, thanks for joining us.
Thank
It's
you.
great to have
What
you
a
on.
great opportunity.
You
I
bet.
love the conversation.
Terrific. Thank
Yeah.
you.